On this bumpy beer tasting from from Clown Shoes Beer out of Boston, Massachusetts, and Windsor, Vermont, also known as the Harpoon Brewing Company's locations, I have Hammer of the Lion. So, Hammer of the Lion is an imperial stout blended with weeheavy ale, and it's aged in rum, bourbon, and brandy barrels. Comes in at a whopping 11% ABV, and this can is approximately uh, we'll say it's about 4 months old. It's a little over 4 months old, but for something that's so high in ABV and being an imperial stout and wee heavy mixture, it should be perfectly fine. Maybe that would allow, also it's barrel aged, maybe that would allow it to mellow out a little bit, and maybe I can get some better flavor notes off of it. So that is the can art on this thing. It is a mixture of a couple of their brews there. One of their imperial stouts, which is the hammer of something, I think, and then the lion thing is, I believe, their wee heavy. So yes, it's that mixture blend. You got the clown shoes right there at the bottom, just kind of laying there off to the side. So interesting can art. Let's go ahead and pour this into a glass and give it a bumpy 50-point inspection. Sounds super interesting and weird all in one. So with the pour on this, we have a darker khaki color, very tight bubbled head. The coloration of the beer itself, I'm getting some brown hues through the lighting, actually some red showing through the center of the body. The brown hues are at the bottom of the glass there. Very dark brown to blackish type color though for the body. Let's just give the appearance a 6 out of 6. Why not? We like to do that here. Everything looks good, and they're professional brewers. Why shouldn't they? All right, let's go in for the aromas. All right. Well, based off of the aromas I'm getting off this, I hope I have enough room on my little pad of paper here to write down all the flavor notes I may be able to pick up on. The aromas that I'm getting, first off, I noticed like a toffee aroma, some dark fruity notes coming up. You name them, that raisin, plum, just all the dark fruit notes. There's a bit of a vanilla in the nose as well, and then there's kind of this kind of chocolate coffee, maybe like chocolate cup coffee bean type aroma as well, with a bit of a wood in there. This just has so many unique aromas going for it. I've got to give it the 10 out of 10. So let's go in for the first swig. Cheers. All right. Hopefully, I can read my notes that I wrote down. I'm going to try to put them in the best way I can for the flavors. It's like a bit of a chocolate, very very slight chocolate. A little more on the darker side. Some like plum type notes in here. I'm picking up on a caramel. There's a vanilla note. Get some wood. Then there's kind of this like molasses rummy note that's also mixed in. And the tail end of this is like kind of like a black coffee bitterness with like some charred barrel notes. It has a medium body to it and a medium carbonation. For 11% ABV, I'm not noticing any real detectable alcohol notes in it. Doesn't really warm me up at all. So that's all well hidden. For the flavors, I'm going to give this an 18 out of 19. The reason why it's not a 19 out of 19 is just kind of that aftertaste, where it's just that bitter black coffee and charred barrel type note is what I'm left with. It is well balanced on the whole spectrum of it. It's not cloyingly sweet. It's not super bitter. It's balanced out quite nicely. But 18 out of 19 is not a bad score at all for flavor. Trust me. Body on this, 5 out of 5. My overall, this is not something that I would continue to like go back and drink over and over again. But it is something that I find nice enough that I would want to share with somebody else. If you've never had this, please try it type deal. I'm at a 9 out of 10 for my overall. So for Clown Chews, Hammer of the Lion Imperial Stout blended with weeheavy ale, aged in rum, bourbon, and brandy barrels, gets a BuMpY 48 out of 50. That's going to land this at an excellent beer. And like I stated, if you can try this at least once, please do. It is a whole plethora of aromas and flavors. Just something I don't want all the time. It's good. It's good. I just don't want it all the time. Cheers, and thank you for watching.